a quiet space to talk about the subtle struggles hidden in daily life. Hello, welcome to my podcast. This is a podcast where I talk calmly about life struggles and family issues.
Well, this isn't an explanation.
Quietly heavy, feel the temperature of the words. 暗きなぎスポッドキャスト。
I can talk about learning English and of course this incident. There are some family issues. First corner is the incident. I said, I told Yokan, this is data file date, but she was confused, and she said, this is file date, so it's different. But however, I said I wanna find file date for podcast. He thought it's date. I post. Always she couldn't listen to me. She was convinced, so she misunderstood. Next, I was trying to write Spanish. I should focus on getting better. But then I noticed. Then I should change my title, podcast title. I should change the title for Japanese people. Move on to the next topic. This is my trauma. In tournament, I beat my I won against the opponent in a tournament, but probably she thought, if I can't win this game, my team will win. That's terrible. It's my trauma. It happened more than 10 years ago, but yesterday I fantasized, and I regret. Next.
Season.
I don't know. Emphasize with people who insult others.
What?
Insult others. Not the gossip itself, but the content. People insult other people people insult others. Of course, I have a lot of trauma, but I don't emphasize the content. Of course, I have a lot of people I dislike, so I'm bad luck person. Next, there are a lot of listeners listening my podcast in Brazil, and recently I'm not sure whether change my language. Just now I'm speaking English, but I'm not sure. And I realized it's similar to Spanish. I noticed Portuguese is similar to Spanish. But this pronunciation is difficult. But I realized Brazil Portuguese is similar to it's different from other country. Next, a lot of strange things happen around me. For example, I talked about someone and he died. Yes, a few days ago, I searched someone who can speak English, and celebrity was good at English, good at Spanish, and I was watching YouTube. And she was good at Spanish. And few days later, she was arrested. When I noticed, I was surprised. And she was arrested. The reason was strange. She can speak Spanish, but it was bad. Next, do you know Shinjo Tsuyoshi, a baseball player? He played in MLB, but money is very low. So Japanese people say Japanese said no way. But he went to America. If he didn't go to America,
Context.
he wouldn't have been director. He's just now he is other teams director. Then I thought life is mystery. Life has mystery, strange. But if she didn't it's no meaning. Next, recently I was trying to make other podcast program,
It means
I switched to Spanish. I thought about switching. Next, it happened day before yesterday in the morning. In this morning, it happened yesterday morning. Yesterday morning, I decided to do English and podcast on podcast on my podcast, but I know this big problem and big is absolutely that was a big deal. Next, me and Yokan were talking about very expensive shopping dish, restaurant dish. In general, maybe 10,000, yeah, but it was 10,600. But it was 1,600. Of course, they use fresh fish, but absolutely it was normal dishes. So I was surprised. Next corner is struggles and mental health. A few days ago, I decided to do English on my podcast. Then I thought. This felt like a second chance at life. But then I noticed there's no right answer. But it's my philosophy. People can't question every single action. Of course, I can be suspicious of every action. I'll just keep doing what I think is right. What I think is right. But I'm worried I might quit podcast because, as I said, I have my philosophy, but on top of that, the rate of developmental disability coming into play is terrible. Developmental trait also affect it. Next, recently I got some problem. I have been feeling the significance of learning English. And it's also a problem. My competitive side is showing. My competitive is showing its problem. And recently, I lost my confidence about my pronunciation, and I've been learning English, but I feel like nothing has stuck with me. Then I notice. After all, I like Latin music, and I was thinking about. I was not sure whether to speak efficiently, and I'm not sure whether to talk about past event. Next, it happened yesterday morning. We were talking about loteria. Loteria is decreasing. We had talking about loteria, but she forget. It's stupid. But it's no problem. But we had talking about Komeda. It's Nagoya's cafe. She wasn't able to remember it. I was shocked. Next, day before yesterday, I scratched foot over pants. I think my pants is not dirty, but not clean. And my back hurt when I was sleeping. So I didn't sleep well because my back hurt. And yesterday it happened. It was mystery. I noticed that idol who is good at singing, but I was almost sleeping, so I was watching once again, but nobody there. It's mystery. Next, even if someone know about R&B, it's not very meaningful. Cause I don't have much ability to emphasize. It's meaningless. But I noticed. Then I noticed. I talked about child and parent battle on podcast. It's meaningless. So I thought. I started to think something like this. Next, let's talk. Let me talk about Latin and English. I started to interested in Latin because my relative is Latin professional dancer, and my relative is second generation Japanese Brazilian. And my favorite band Dragon Nash used Latin music, and I was interested in jazz music. Then Latin jazz was my favorite, and I was interested in classic music, and then I was interested in opera, and I was interested in Italian. And recently I started to listen music, and they are also interested in Latin music. And moving on to the English. I began to learn English because of killing time, and I want a lot of people to in overseas. Many people overseas to listen my podcast, and I wanted to think. I wanted to feel that doing a podcast is worth it. The podcast is worth it. And I wanted to study, and my characteristic is strict. Next, I have something I can't understand. Personal bankruptcy. I can understand. They should suffer more than being employed. But they can new business. I can understand. Next, この間引き飯. Yesterday, I had hamburger. Convenience stores hamburger. Recently, I don't add salt and tofu, but yesterday I add salt, but after all, I can't taste. I couldn't taste. Day before yesterday, I had Hoikoro, it's Chinese food. It's very delicious. That was second time. That was same. It's very amazing. Thank you for listening. Please follow this program. See you again.